In 2016, the Ministry of Health, through a multi-sectoral approach, set up a roadmap in addressing issues relating to adolescent health through adaptive leadership methodology. This methodology was later on adopted in the Zambian's 2017 to 2021 National Health Strategic Plan. This was to introduce a behavioral focus to HIV prevention and supplement social initiatives. Lundazi District was one of the first 2 districts to be launched in the adaptive leadership methodology in 2019. Ms. Charity Piri is the manager for Adaptive Leadership Zambia in Lundazi District.
Lundazi District was the second district to be launched after Mansa, and it was launched in 2019, December. 100 different stakeholders were brought together, and out of the 107 intervention teams were formed. We had the traditional leadership team, the teachers, the parents intervention team, the clergy, the adolescents themselves, and the media and CSOs, and the government intervention teams. It is the same teams that were formed that now went into the communities to help mobilize the communities and have dialogue meetings on the challenges that they were facing. So that's how adaptive leadership in Lundazi started.
This is Lundazi District in Eastern Province of Zambia.
There are some areas like we have Gobede village, then there is the Muruta village. That is an activity which is infested with the kachasu growing. So that part we want to reduce that activity. We're trying hard so that they stop brewing kachasu. So you are going to see for yourself.
This documentary is aimed at showcasing cultural and value shifts at a personal, family, and community level. It focuses on 2 villages, Muluta and Gobede village, where we see the practical application of the adaptive leadership methodology in Zambia's communities.
To talk about the teen pregnancies and other vices that are taking place in my chiefdom. When it comes to teen pregnancies, we have had a challenge, a big challenge from our school-going pupils that have been becoming pregnant because they are vulnerable to where they stay, more especially day schools. For day schools, children don't have where to be staying. So instead, they just go to nearby villages or local communities where they get their accommodation through rents and so on.
In December 2023, the Adaptive Leadership Zambia team conducted a check on Muluta village. This is one of the villages in which ALZ conducts its interventions to help the community realize solutions from its challenges.
So namwongoera dada ndine kuona chomenemene ku programu hii. Programu yetu nja kuona kabiro kaweni kabana vitu. Right? Aha. Isa tabalala vilijumpa isa sibati. Isa vilijumpa kwanira ngabana vitu. Na machelolira baza mkala umoyo wauli. Ka isa suzgo itapitamo na wana ndio bazapitemo. Yai.
Among other challenges faced by the village, alcoholism stands out as a contributing factor to other vices such as teen pregnancies, early marriages, and theft among adolescents and young people in Muluta village. The story of Adonelia Ngoma is a typical example of what Muluta village has been for the past decades. Young girls and boys are exposed to alcohol at an early age, thus depriving their right to education. This art of brewing alcohol becomes their source of income for most members of Muluta village. Education for the adolescents and young people is the last thing the community could ever think of.
4 years.
4 years.
So kuri jenyake ntchito yo mungapanga kupambana pa iyi?
Yeah, tungakwanisa kuboma na malasha ngati.
Kuboma malasha mungakwanisa cha?
Yeah.
Okay, so manje kachasi mwamene muganizira bana bane muri nawo bakura then uyu mowa wanu zankala mu nyumba nyengo zinandi nyengo zose muganza kuti bana kuntazi wangaleka kuzayamba kumwa.
Yeah, inge ukarenge nyengo zose ngati.
Muganza kuti mungacheza
business nyake mainga tafika ko kungani ngenjo ali mama ko.
Okay. So muganza kuti ntepa uri hapa mungachinja business.
Chimukachikuza manga taimama.
Adaptive Leadership Zambia believes in sustaining change. In this type of cultural setups, adaptive leadership applies the principle of holding environment by creating an environment for people to deal with difficult issues rather than avoiding them. The story of Adonelia illustrates dilemmas that most communities face regarding change.
When you interact with them, you realize that they may not be well informed about whatever they are doing. You see, we saw some lady who has been into brewing kachasu. From afar, you would condemn them to say, why are they doing like that? But when we interact with them, she says she has been doing this business for 4 years, and she's managed to build a house. She's managed to buy fertilizer. She's also planning to buy iron sheets. You know, and now from afar, without any explanation, telling this woman to stop doing that would be a bit difficult. But when you sit down, dialogue, see the advantages and the disadvantages of doing whatever she's doing, she'll by and by realize that actually what the business she's doing is may cause more harm even to her children than the good that she's seeing into it.
We proceeded to Gombede village, another village within Mphamba Chiefdom, where ALZ has been holding its interventions. Before Adaptive Leadership Zambia started its interventions in Gombede village, adolescents and young people were caged in alcoholism, teen pregnancy, and early marriages. Mr. Nirongo is the headman for Gombede village who shares how ALZ has impacted the community.
Tumene pange nikambeti chifukwa cha kwiza kwa imwe mbwenu wana paka nyamukira mchanya. So ina kachipokera magwa tumene kulingana na nomeko mumkwizira imwe. So paichi para ningala viskasono hapa ntene hapa. Vana mpendwa iliko makola tumene ya kwenda kuskuru. Yapamana mukareka kwizira imwe kono.
So what he's saying is the whole village, this village has a lot of youngsters, a lot of children, but back then only 8 used to go to school. The rest would not go to school. But after adaptive leadership came in, what he's saying now is more than 30 children now are back in school.
Namukizira sambizgo tirikuleka so tirikuona kuti namtirikulekera oronganya skulu ilipitako pandazi. Pambana na umoyo uratikana ukale apa taona kuti umoyo muzimu itu wanga wachinjako.
Nifaka chabenzeru kuverenga kulibena venangu venchitani kuverenga chabe nje vambiri chabe vevanthandizira muri adaptive leadership sinezoziwa verenga but naziwa.
8 years ago, Gloria Botha lost her father and remained with the mother and her 2 siblings. It was from this time that life took a shift for her and her sister. In her narration, the 16 years old tells of how she was almost married off for her to provide for the family.
Sama mujamu nyumba then angangana kamba to nishibwera ntikazinghala bonse ndemwe tinabwerera kuja kung'anga ata tambonghala kuja kung'anga but stimo life ezeko difficult tezoenda stimo kuendoyola tunga kudoba tuberebete after life yakosa manje afika pokosa ine after sacrifice kuendoyamba peace work mu restaurant nozosenza mu restaurant after nambosenza mu restaurant nezoshitako sponsor tezogulako tunga but stimo sinezokwanisa bonse.
It is in this structure that Gloria and her family lived for 8 years, a property belonging to a traditional healer who promised to heal the suffering mother who experienced some health complications then. In the exchange of this service, the traditional healer, who couldn't give a comment on this particular topic, demanded from the family that whatever she asked, they do, including marrying off the two girls. With a deep desire for education, Gloria resolved that she would not be forced into marriage, and all she wanted at this point was a way out.
Hapa ine ningatenge vili vonse vinono matenda oloba muna siningakane maningi kaingi ndrama mwezi asolera hapa nizambo vomera so that nikazona ko ndrama nikazijesa kwa wafana wanga kuno njia ine mandi life isingakwanise is better nibweleza back to school and then nashimikira po mzanga latine mzanga iwe life is so anakamba ati woi apa ine nili ku ndankeni nili ku group yenangu yo ya adaptive leadership.
It is from a friend that Gloria learned of Adaptive Leadership Zambia. Ever since, life for this family has been different.
She came through to the office, explained the situation. You know, as Adaptive Leadership, yes, we couldn't help there and then, but looking at her willingness to go back to school, I did not hesitate because I knew if we took time to help her, she may change her mind of going back to school. Yeah, so what I did, I just got the little that I had. I gave one of the adolescents. They went together with the sister in the market, bought uniforms. Yeah, and Adada also took it up to look for a place. We went into two places, into two schools, and finally we were at Lundazi Primary School.
The two sisters joined the Adaptive Leadership Zambia intervention team in Garden Compound, and for this, the mother is grateful.
Abana kuberenga Gloria kamba pana mwananga aberenga buno bwenu. Nikaenda kusiku nikafusa ula deputy anu sautao mwana nashita improvement. Akankoncha beze na timulungu ine ndia yamikire kupita mwa mama isabiwa kunitandiza ine ako office kutipaka afike basaizi twana ambenda kusiku ine neka utindoa uniform chani nilibe ndipo nipemba nditi kutandizo pa abana inkalepo.
The family is no longer under the custody of the traditional healer, looking forward to living independently and getting an education.
I can safely and gladly say Gloria Botha and the sister are back to school. Yes, Gloria Botha is in grade 7 this year, ready to write her exams. I think I was talking to her last week. She's ready, studying, and she just needs our encouragement. And the sister also is in grade 6. Also, she's in good shape. She looks interested in education, and you know, because of Gloria Botha and the sister, other girls also are getting encouraged to go back to school. And on top of Gloria, we've got 2 other girls that we've retrieved from marriages, and they're also already back in school.
Since inception, ALZ Lundazi District has uniquely approached the fight against new HIV infections amongst adolescents and young people by first addressing the issues that largely contribute to this effect.
One thing is sure, and one thing we understand is adaptive leadership. It's a new concept that has just been introduced to communities and stakeholders. I think this time the communities are appreciating and are really coming up. They've realized to say it's not just being a leader, but it's a leadership that matters in trying to handle the issues that affect us in our communities.
It is through these interventions that practices such as Chinamwali was revised, where adolescent girls will be taught how to look after a man. This premature exposure to sex education led to risk behaviors, which exposed the young girls to HIV and STIs infections and child marriage. This could not be achieved without the collaboration of other stakeholders.
So the coming of adaptive leadership has helped the traditional leaders, the traditional counselors in the change, their mindset on the change of the curriculum that they ought to teach the girls at puberty stage. Not only the girls, even the boys. There are those boys that would just leave school, drop out of school just to go and head cattle. But because of the sensitizations that came through to all the stakeholders, to all the people that were involved and the people that were affected, as a district, we are very confident to say such lessons will continue to yield positive results in our district. From the Ministry of Education, we are very, very grateful, especially that we are seeing the reduction in the teen pregnancies. We are seeing actually retention in the girls that could drop out of school. The girls that were married off, they are now coming to school. Why? It's because these girls, these young ones are able to make sound decisions on the importance of education.
Adaptive leadership has actually helped us in a lot of ways because we have managed to bring parents on board, adolescents on board, and they are able to talk freely and discuss about HIV AIDS related matters, which was a very difficult thing for us to do. It would be better if the program was escalated to other chiefdoms as well, because apparently for Lundazi we just have it in Chief Mphamba Chiefdom, and it would be better if adaptive leadership was actually taken to other chiefdoms such as Senior Chief Mwase and also Chief Kapichila for better sensitization and awareness.
What was introduced to them as simply a methodology has turned out to become their lifestyle, with a hope for the bright and healthy future.
Most of the children have adapted a lot on this activity, and the children are now stopping those bad vices through these activities of adaptive leadership.
As one of its objectives, Adaptive Leadership Zambia aims at achieving cultural and value shifts at personal, family, community and institutional levels through interventions that are both technical and adaptive. It also seeks to build leadership capacity to ensure collective ownership of problems and facilitate the generation of interventions and solutions within the ecosystem.
Change has started, but they want now to make it completely.
So tikumphambani kuti muleke kuvuka mwawalendu witu kwiza kuno kutisambizya.
You should still be coming here.
Ndimwe akupokerereka ndithu nyengo zose.
You are all the time welcome to this village.
Ya kunhali ndipo songa tengo. Kwesitika tengo isikangaka 12 14 manga kakura wa. So mwauno mwatipa ntchito imwe mama kuti mwauno tisitenge nadi para 12 years wataunthengwa takumtora pa mwana wise.
In all this, the heartbeat of the work is that adolescent and that young person in our communities.
The challenges that we are facing, we have never been given a chance, and this is a good opportunity that today we have stakeholders that they can listen to our problems and they understand what we are going through and create another program like this so that they can listen to our cries, to our problems that we are facing in our communities, in our societies where we are coming from. Thank you so much.
Basically, we just want to thank also the team, Alex and the team from Lusaka. You know, when we visit these places, sometimes they don't tend to believe us. They feel we are just doing things from our own thinking or just from our own making. But your visit just gives a real picture of what is really happening.
Yeah.